Welcome back to Soul of Jazz, where we have been enjoying nothing but a spellbinding musical experience served to you on a silver platter. Before the ad break, we were spoiled with a mesmerizing soul classic. But right now, it is about time that we jazz it up and call on all our jazz lovers because it is time to enjoy our jazz moments of the week.
No time to wait for you. Come round. No feeling blue. No wailing sounds. It's a madness. Can't ignore. So darling, don't let me go. No time to wait while feeling sad. This emptiness, I feel so bad. It's a sadness can't ignore. So darling, don't let me go. No time to wait for you come round. No feeling blue, no wailing sound. It's a madness. Can't ignore. So darling, don't you let me go. There's no time to wait for you to come round.
I am now sitting with our leading lady of the hour and our artist of the week, who is a monster when it comes to the stage, because as soon as she hits that first note, you will be like, oh my gosh, give me more of Sia Makhuzeni. Sia, welcome.
Thank you so much,
I think this deserves a very good, loud, big cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So before we dive into the influence that you came with when you stepped into the South African music scene, let us just let everyone in the loop a bit at home and give them a really quick, brief background on who Sia Makhuzeni is.
Okay. So I am from the Eastern Cape, based from East London specifically. And I started music really young, and I guess that the journey goes as far back as my childhood years, well into high school.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the trombone, this all started in high school. And I was playing recorder at that time, and I think it was my teacher who, I guess, saw talent and saw a need to perhaps just kind of like encourage me in such a way as to say that maybe see if it might not be something that you might be interested in for later in your life. At the school where I was at, it's a place called Sterling High School in East London, and they had a jazz program which ran as an extramural activity. And so she suggested that I go and do an audition, and I went in there with the mind of, I suppose, playing one instrument, and I walked out with the trombone.
Yeah.
It was a really crazy afternoon because I didn't know what to expect or whether I'd get into the band. But I'm really glad because I picked up an instrument that was so completely away from anything I'd imagined in my life.
Did you even ever think about it?
No,
of
not at
such
all.
an instrument, the trombone, like when you're growing up? Because I'm assuming that as a youngster, you choose the obvious things like guitars, piano, you know. So the trombone is it's like a niche.
Completely.
Yeah.
But in the same time, I really do believe that it fell, into my journey or my path because I knew that, I wanted to obviously perhaps continue with music, but I didn't even know what a trombone was. And it was through that experience of going through that audition that I discovered an instrument and I guess a family of instruments in terms of the brass family that I completely fell in love with. And it also was an introduction for me into jazz music as a whole. Yeah.
So fast forward to today, you are finding yourself at one of the top lists when South Africans mention South African jazz artists.
Yeah.
So irrespective of it being such an unusual instrument that you chose, did you find yourself also experiencing other difficulties into the industry? Because I'm assuming, from like a receiver's point of view, I'm assuming that it's an instrument that is mostly associated with males, because of its strength and its power. Do you find yourself having to fight, to say I am worthy of being listened to and you will listen to me?
I guess later on in life, we can say perhaps that definitely did rear its head. I mean, whilst I was at school, this was an opportunity for everybody to really delve into the music and learn as much as possible about it. And I think that at school, I definitely have more of the formal backing in terms of support. I started off as a classical trombone musician. And so because the school had a curriculum that really provided all of the tools that you needed to be able to learn what it takes to actually play the instrument itself, I never came across that. But then once I kind of I stretched over into the professional scene. As soon as I arrived in Johannesburg, obviously there are way more people that are performing and doing what I'm doing, and I was very new to the scene. And really lucky enough in my elements where I was like, oh my gosh, I get to see the people that I've actually been looking up to for all of this time, and I can go and see them performing and doing music in clubs, I suppose, or jazz clubs like that. And when I started, I was lucky at the same time because I was really young.
Yeah.
I think there were a lot of people who noticed.
The fighting power.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I feel like that's kind of also part of my personality.
Yeah.
In many ways, where resilience is for me a strength.
Yeah. If you were to collaborate with any three artists who are outside of your genre, nowhere near jazz.
I like this.
All right.
Yes.
Who would those artists be and why?
Definitely Bjork.
Okay.
she's definitely first on my list. I love the fact that Bjork, for me, has managed to, even in the world of what we consider pop or mainstream music, she stayed so true to her own uniqueness. I mean, I think that for me is a huge element of being able to preserve what you have and I guess state legacy or put one together or leave something behind. And Bjork has always been interesting in that element where she's exceedingly creative.
Yeah.
From one album to the next, you can do so many different things.
I love it. Number
Second
two?
person would be, I guess, Esperanza Spalding. I'm actually looking up at her right now on the wall.
On the wall, picture on the wall.
She is incredible. She really inspires me, particularly as a young woman.
Yeah.
Who I guess if people look at what I do, there's a lot of similarities within that aspect of playing a male-dominated instrument, and she's got such great command of it. But I think that she's also an all-round musician who's beautiful as a composer, beautiful as an arranger, and she can sing well, she can play well. So She really, really inspires me.
And your top three.
Top
the number
third
three.
person that I think I would love to perform with is Richard Bonner. And it's so crazy because I actually just met him at the Cape Town Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a single note shared amongst us. But we started talking, and I feel that he's really warm.
Yeah.
He's quite generous with his time and himself as a human being. And that's something that I also try to look for in terms of collaborations, even with this project in terms of the mill, where people are open to being challenged and having to leave their comfort zone and still
branch
create
out
something
to
that's
different
quite
avenues.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we need to have that on a social level as
True,
well,
right?
just like on a human to human level.
You don't just carry it on when it's time to work.
Absolutely.
All right.
So
So
that's
let me
it,
put you in a corner, and depending on how flexible you are, it will determine on how quickly you get yourself out of the corner.
Okay.
All right. So in 3 words, nothing more, nothing less.
Wow.
Nothing increased, nothing decreased. In exactly 1, 2, 3 words, what does soul and jazz mean to you?
Wow.
You can tell everyone at home right there.
Wow.
Word number 1.
Wow. Soul really
Word.
Wow.
Okay, that's
Heart.
word number 1. Wow.
Heart,
All right. Word number 2.
jazz, harmony.
Word number 3.
What's the third word again? Just try and think.
We can take wow.
No, but I've already said it.
So it's wow, heart, and harmony.
Yes,
There
pretty
we
much.
go. That's
Yeah.
a wrap.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
spending time with us. And right here at Soul of Jazz, we absolutely cannot wait for more from you. We will be behind you every single step of the
Appreciate
way.
it. Thank you so much.
Hope that you enjoyed my sit down with our leading lady of the hour. And please go out and support her music, because she is about all things that are nothing but good soul and jazz music. And speaking about that soul and jazz music, do not go far, because we still have more of that good sound in store for you. We'll be back after this.